Welcome to another episode of The Wave, the wonderful Alberni Valley experience. I'm your host, Don Texan, coming to you from my living room here in Port Alberni, where we share and live and play in the unceded territories of the Hoopachesit and the Tishat peoples. It's such a wonderful day, a wonderful place, and a wonderful community. And I'm here with my friend who has inspired me, and we're going to talk about that a little later, how exactly she has inspired me and drawn me into a side that I am so happy to have discovered because of her. Anyway, without much ado, please welcome my good friend who's a teacher, a French teacher and educator here in Port Alberni, but she works in Parksville for now, but she'll be coming to Port Alberni soon. Without much ado, please welcome my good friend, Kimberly ETHIER. Hi, Kimberly. How are you? So I'll call you Kim, right?
Yes.
Is it Kim or Kimmy? What are you more comfortable
Either
with?
or. Kim.
Either or? Is that your last name? Well, Justin introduced you to me as Kimmy, so I think I'll go with that. Kimmy! That's such a cute name, anyways. So, Kimmy, as I understand it, you are a teacher.
I am.
Uh, do you teach any particular subject or you just teach general subjects in the school?
I am an elementary school focused teacher. So I teach kindergarten to grade 6. Recently, I was early primary, so French immersion, grade 1.
Oh, okay. And you speak French. So we're going to ask you to speak French in a little while. And we're going to get up to the part where, as I shared earlier, you inspired me to go to some side of me that I was just waiting for it to happen. Anyway, let's start with you are born here. You were born here in the beautiful valley of Port Alberni. So that begs the question, what was it like growing up in Port Alberni?
Growing up here was great. As a kid, like there was so much to do, so many outdoor places to explore. I was really lucky where I lived. I lived down by the W.A.V.E. So
Mm-hmm.
there's the creek there. So I spent my entire summers basically just walking around, picking up rocks, swimming in the creek, like just
Is there
being.
a waterfall somewhere nearby in the Kitsaxas area?
There's a little bit of a hike off of the Kentuxas Walkway that you can get up to the waterfall there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's one thing about this valley. There, you're so close to nature. Like you're surrounded, but no, you're not surrounded. You're enveloped by nature.
Yeah, you really are, and it took me a really long time to fully appreciate that. And now I'm like, oh, there's so many trails and everything. It's amazing. I love it.
So growing up as a child here in Port Alberni, was there ever a time, like, because I usually encounter this with young people here who are growing up here, like they can't wait to get out of Port Alberni because Port Alberni is boring as far as the young people are concerned. Did you go through such a stage?
I did.
Okay, tell me about that.
When I went to university, I went to Nanaimo, to Vancouver Island University. And at that point, I was like, get me out. I want to be out. And
So did you?
when I finished my degrees, I was like, I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Okay, that will
Yeah.
beg the next question. What made you want to come back? What did you miss about the wonderful Alberni Valley?
My family is really rooted here. My dad's family all live within about a 4 kilometer radius of each other. So I really miss that. Growing up, we were very close, and I didn't like being so far away from my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and everything. So that was a big push to come home.
Okay, that was so nice. And you're glad to be back.
Yes.
So when did you come back?
I came back about 3.5 years ago.
Oh, okay, so just recently. So how long were you away?
I was gone for about 5 years altogether.
Okay. And you went where?
Just in Nanaimo.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, not that far, but still, you over the hump.
And it's amazing trying to, yeah. Get home sometimes is like, oh, it's too far. I'm happy to be home. I get to see my parents all the time, and now I have my beautiful dog.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about the beautiful Cena in a little while. So, growing up in Port Alberni, you had to go to university, and you studied child education.
So I went and I have a bachelor's of arts, major in
Oh,
Canadian history, focus on World War One, and a minor in French. And then I went back and did my post-bac degree in education.
oh, okay.
Hmm.
And then you came back 3.5 years ago. And just curious, how did you end up in the Dunsmuir family?
I was looking for a place, and Justin had this beautiful ad written up on Facebook, and it was just looking for people to be part of a community, part of a home, um, LGBTQ or allies, like just this very open, very loving place. And so I messaged him, and we had a little chat, and we hit it off, and that's how I came to be here.
There you go. And we met because of that, because you just recently came up with the idea, and we're going to go to this part now of our interview or our conversation. You came up with the idea for Pride Month because you are, although you are not queer or LGBTQ, you are a very strong ally
Yes.
and a wonderful creative ally at that. That's why, for the information of everybody watching, I have dubbed Kimmy the queerifier. She can queerify anything in your house, a wall clock, your wall, your room, your bathroom, even the house numbers of your of your house. She will queerify it beautifully. Might I add, beautifully? Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
what made you come up? So, I understand from Justin and all the other guys and the Dunsmuir family, in celebration of Pride Month, you came up with the idea of the Dunsmuir drag race. So tell me a little bit about that. And I was so happy I got invited.
Well, I was so happy you were able
And
to
I had so much fun. So tell us a little about your
come.
idea about the Dunsmuir drag race.
So I came up with the idea just for kind of a group of friends of ours um, to make a video for Pride because of quarantine and everybody kind of being separated, and it's supposed to be about unity and being together and loving each other. So I came up with the idea of doing a video, and we're all huge fans of RuPaul's Drag Race in this house. So we kind of created our own drag race.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how Dunsmuir Drag Race was born.
And we had a lot of fun. My goodness, time flew by so quickly. I mean, we were there at 1:30, and before you knew it, it was already, what, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock?
I'm tired. How come? Oh, yeah.
Okay, one of those things is like, so we each had our drag name. I was Divina, and then Justin was Ostentatious, and
Yeah.
then Matt was Shannon Buchanan,
Yeah.
and Kenya was Debbie Harry Clit,
Yes.
and you were Virginia Mary. Are you Catholic or something?
I was.
Yeah, was. Well, so was I.
Yeah, I just thought it was a funny name. I don't know.
Well, it was kind of, funny, sacrilegious. I love that stuff. Oh, I think that comes with you being French. Because I
Yeah,
know I know French people. They curse with religious
it is.
terminology,
Yes, it's actually,
right?
yes, it's very true. A lot of French curses have to do with the church.
So thus it inspired you,
Yeah.
your drag name to be Virginia Mary. I mean, how French of you. Oh, this is gonna make a good interview, even for my other show, Queer View Mirror. So where do you get your inspiration or your ideas for, as I now call it, queerifying things? Like I saw that little desktop clock. I said, "Where'd you get that, Justin?" And he told me that you made it. And then I noticed the house numbers of his house had like all rainbow colors on it. Oh, that's a great idea. Who did that? It was you. So how did you like develop this creativity on that side?
Um, well, I'm a primary school teacher, like, and I think that's what a lot of it is I love doing arts and crafts and um, activities and things like that. And especially during quarantine this year, I'm like, I need to keep busy. I need to do something. So all of these little projects, I'd go through the store and I'd be like, I can make that, or I can do that, or so I'd get it and bring it home and yeah, rainbow and queerify it and
Yes, that's a new term. I'm copywriting that term. The queerifier. Kimmy ETHIER, the queerifier, who is also known as Virginia Mary in the Dunsmuir. So now that the drag race is over, we are sort of like developing the concept to becoming the Dunsmuir drag queens.
yes.
And we're going to be talking about that on Sunday, and we're going to be developing the concept, and definitely the Dunsmuir drag queens are going to be coming out in the other show called Queer View Mirror, which is a spin-off of the Wave in a way, because I'm in it, so whether they like it or not, it's a spin-off of the Wave.
There you go.
And so I was going to ask you now about your top three waves. So you've been here 3.5 years ago,
Three and a half, about three and a
more or
half years
less.
when I came back.
Okay, but you came to the Dunsmuir family just recently, or
In November.
okay.
Yeah.
So now with that, I will ask you to name your top three waves, your wonderful Alberni Valley experiences, top three. Number one.
My top three.
Okay, number three first. Number three, we'll go
Okay.
up one.
Go backwards.
Number three.
I really love, absolutely love all the community events that happen in Port Alberni. From the Our Town events in the summer. Um, Unfortunately, this year I think it's a little bit different, but that's
Yeah.
okay. We just go with the flow. But the community events that we do around here. So from the Our Town for the kids to the Salmon Fest to the Fall Fair, everything like
The
that.
toy run.
Toy run, everything that this community does together is just absolutely amazing. And yeah, that just, it really draws me to this community as a home.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even in the other interviews I've done, a part of their top three is always the community, the heart and the vibe and the feel and the cohesion
Yes,
between the people in the community. It's just wonderful because it's a small town and everybody knows each other, everybody helps each other, and here and there. So, okay, number two.
number two would have to be just all of the nature trails and everything that we have around here. As I'm
Okay.
sitting here talking to you, I'm looking out the front window, and there's trails right at my front doorstep. Like I can just walk outside and be in the forest. Um,
Yes.
just being able to explore nature in your own backyard is
Oh,
absolutely wonderful. I've been on many hikes around here. One of my favorites is Maplehurst at the end of Willow Road. It's just a beautiful walking
is
trail.
that the fairy trail?
Yeah, yeah, it's got a few
Yeah,
like the
somebody told me about it. I've never been on that trail, and it's a fairy trail. Why am I not there?
you have to be there.
I'm going there. I'm going there. We should go one time and bring Cena.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, it's a date.
And then I think probably my top kind of just wonderful Alberni Valley experience is um, actually, I don't even know. There's so many. Like, there's not really a top. Um,
Well, the most recent then.
I think just having the people in my life
Oh, of
and
course.
everybody that's come to Port Alberni. As when After I came back after the 5 years away, I kind of developed. I still have my old friends. I love them to pieces, but I developed kind of this other community of this transplants, such as yourself and Justin and Kenya and Matt and Wendy and everybody, and just coming up with these transplants or people that have come from outside of the valley, showing me the things that they've experienced in the valley, because living here as a kid, you kind of took everything for granted, and it's whatever, it's here, it's there, I'll do it some other time. But kind of getting that push from those people has been really kind of exciting and new.
That's so wonderful to hear. I'm so touched. It's true. I was just interviewing another. He was a transplant, but he was a transplant for like 33 years ago.
Oh yes.
And he was a professor at the Vancouver Island College here
Yeah.
for quite a while. And that's what he was saying. He admires and appreciates the new wave of people and the energy they
Yeah.
bring and the ideas that they bring and the change that they bring. So there's the old wave and the new wave, but the waves are continuous, so they just sort of like intertwine. And I'm just so happy that you see that when you're able to share it. It is true, the old and the new have just like
Yeah.
merged into one beautiful experience for everybody involved.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And you should add, you got Cena. Tell me about
Yeah.
Cena. You adopted a rescue. Her
So,
name is Cena.
yes, this little nugget beside me, you can kind of see her. She's sleeping right now.
I see her.
She's always sleeping. Her name is Cena. She is a rescue dog. She comes from India. So she was just outside of New Delhi, and I got her through Loved at Last Dog Rescue. And she's been with me since November, and she has changed my life.
She's a wonderful baby.
Yes.
She
She's
came
got,
all the way from China too, right? Oh, India, India.
yeah, she's traveled more than I have, I think now. So, but she's wonderful. She has her her quirks. She's a little bit socially awkward with new people, but as you've experienced,
At the start, yeah.
yeah, you just let her kind of come up to you,
Hmm.
figure out who you are, and then she's your best friend.
Oh yeah. It didn't take long that before she warmed up to me, and we're like, after giving her a few treats, she was around sniffing at my heels, sniffing at my butt
Yeah.
when we were doing the drag show. She was trying to figure me out.
Like, ooh, what?
What's
Where?
under? She was trying to figure out what's underneath that sparkly skirt.
It's so beautiful.
Well, now that you've shared your wonderful Alberni Valley experience, I'm sure you've heard a lot of bad things being said about our beautiful valley. As everybody, there's always a critic somewhere out there. What would you say to these people who are saying bad things about our wonderful Alberni Valley?
Come and experience it yourself.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, for those naysayers, just come and spend some time here. Don't just pass through on your way to Tofino, because that.
Oh, did you see my post?
What was that?
I just posted something about that. Like,
Oh,
there's
did
this,
you?
this rough, biker dude saying,
Yeah.
"I've never been to Port Alberni," and then the other guy says, "What do you mean you've never been to Port Alberni? You went to Tofino, didn't you?" Yeah, he said, "I went to Tofino, but I don't know where Port Alberni." He says, "Oh, but you have to pass through Port Alberni to get to Tofino," and he said, to maintain his stand, he said, "I did go that route." Yeah, right. There's no other route.
There's no other way, honey.
There's no
Yeah,
other way to Tofino except through the wonderful Alberni Valley.
exactly. So yeah, if people just come and spend time and check out the town, see what we have to offer, meet the people, view the trails, check out nature, and I think that their minds would change.
Yeah, I'm sure they would, but there's another part of that. There's another part of me, just like Justin, I share the same opinion. He said, "Oh yeah, continue thinking that and stay away so that you won't ruin our beautiful."
Well, there's that option too.
Yeah, that option too, right? If you're gonna come here with all your negative vibrations anyway, I bet I'd rather you go to
Yeah,
Tofino. It's fine.
yeah, just keep going.
Oh my God, I'm having such a good time. We could go for a whole hour and yet at the beginning you said you were shy. So see, there now you're comfortable and Cena's comfortable. So as all things must come to an end, I should have to go to the rapid fire question and answer portion, which is one of my favorite parts of the interview. So here we go, Kimmy. Are you ready?
I'm
All
ready.
right. Just say anything that comes from your heart and the first thing that comes to your mind. All right? Number one, living in Port Alberni makes me feel like.
Wet sometimes. It rains a lot. It's raining right now.
Are you Mary?
Not what I meant.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's revisit the question. Okay, now speaking. Okay, sorry, I forgot to clarify. Speaking as Kimmy, not Virginia Mary.
Oh, that was okay. Gotcha.
Okay, living in Port Alberni makes me feel like.
Happy and
Okay,
surrounded by
all
friends.
right. Okay, that's Kimmy talking now.
That's Kimmy.
Okay, also as Kimmy. Or you can go back and forth, like as Virginia Mary, then we'll ask you as Kimmy. Okay, so let's go. As Kimmy, the people in Port Alberni are.
Friendly.
Okay, there you go. Okay, we're having fun with this. We must go for it. As Virginia Mary, the people in Port Alberni are.
No. I can't.
Okay, okay, let's go to number three.
I'll answer those questions on Sunday.
Okay, no, you'll answer that question as Virginia Mary on my other show.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Alrighty, number three. In a word or a phrase, I would describe Port Alberni as.
Community with a heart, obviously.
Oh, that's a nice one. Community with a heart. That's from Kimmy, okay? That's from Kimmy. I can just imagine what Virginia Mary would say to that question. And I have a few suggestions myself. Anyway.
Davina's gonna get in on that too.
Okay, number four. When people ask me what it is like to live in Port Alberni, I say.
It's wonderful.
Okay. Good answer, Kimmy. All right, we're number 1, 2, 3, 4. I lost my count. Okay, next question. I'll stop with the count. Next question. Top 3 places you would take your visitor when they're passing by Port Alberni.
Ew. When they're passing by?
Yeah, like,
Come to visit? Yes.
a few days. Like they're staying for a few days. Where would you take them?
Definitely the Harbor Key.
Okay.
Shop because.
Sorry. Harbor Key then? Okay.
I would take them to probably Maplehurst Trail, the
Mm-hmm.
I love to walk. And then I would take them, well, depending. There's a few places, like Hole in the Wall is amazing, or one of our local eateries.
Okay.
A couple of wonderful breweries now that have amazing, well, beverages, and food is awesome too. So yeah, lots of different things.
Okay. All right. Final question, darling. Complete this sentence. I love living in Port Alberni because.
I have a gorgeous, wonderful garden that I would not be able to have anywhere else.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't see it when I was there. I should come and visit your garden.
It's at I actually did it at my parents' house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna visit.
Okay, for sure.
Love
Well,
it.
you'll see my garden when you come on Sunday for dinner.
Yay.
For sure. And are you bringing Cena over for dinner as well? Because I have a closed yard and a closed deck, so.
Yeah, I can definitely.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you, Kimmy. I know you were a bit hesitant to come on the interview, but it seems like you enjoyed yourself. And being on the wave has added to your wonderful Alberni Valley experience as well as mine. Has been meeting you, has added to my own wonderful Alberni Valley experience. That's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you next time on The Wave.